Good morning. Everyone's invited to offer incense before the service begins, if you would like to do so. Before the service begins, and one of the minister's assistants will be ringing the Kansho, which will ask us to quiet our minds and quiet ourselves, gather our thoughts, and be ready to hear the Dharma. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's service. It's a little bit nice and cool right now, and I know it's going to heat up during the day, so I'm hoping it's going to be a good day for everyone. I see a few of our Dharma School students, so I'm glad you could join us today. How many of you were able to come last week to Dharma School? And then, good. And then how many are who met some new friends? Yeah, or met their old friends, joined their own old friends. Good. Well, I'm glad you could be here today, and we're going to begin with our service. Today's service will be officiated, our Dharma leader is going to be Certified Minister's Assistant Arturo Rubio. And please join us. He will be leading us in a meditation.
Reverently, we come before the shrine of our Amida Buddha, the Holy One, the Perfect One. With gratitude, we have brought our offering of love and devotion to honor him. We earnestly resolve to strive to understand his holy teaching and to walk every day in his blessed path, so that like him, we may attain the peace of nirvana. Kansho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandabs, 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 namandabs.
CMA Arturo Rubio will now lead us in the chanting of the Sutra, Junirai. It can be found on page 24 in your service book. There is an explanation of this, the meaning of this sutra on the previous page.
Keishu tenin shokugyo Amida senryo sokuson Zaihi mi mel andrako Muryo bushi shuinel Konjiki shinjo nyoseno Shamata gyonyo sobu Yomoku jonyaku shorenge Koga chorai midason Menzen enjon yoman gats Iko yunyo senichi gats Shonyo tenku kushiram Koga chorai mida son, quan non chodai quan shuju, shuju meo so ho shogun, nobuku gedo makelman, koga chorai mida son, muhi buku koshojo, shutoku keuketsu nyokoku, shosari yakutoku jisai, koga chorai mida son, jipo myomon bosashu, muryo shoma sandan, isho shujo ganriki jiu, koga chorai mida son, kontai hoken chishoke, zengon shoujo meudaisam, ohiza jonyo seno, koga chorai mida son, jipo shorai shobushi, kengen jinzu shian rak, sengo songen joku gyo, koga chorai mida son, sho umu jomu gato, yaku nyo sui gatsu den yoro, ishu seppo mu myoji, koga chorai mida son, ison buzetsu mu akumyo, yakumu nyonin akudofu, shunin shishin kyo hison, koga chorai mida son, hison muryo hoben kyo, mu shoshu akuchishi, ojo futai shibodai, koga chorai mida son, gasetu hison kudokuji, shuzen muhen yokai sui shogyaku zen gonsho josha eseshu sho iko. Namandabu, namandabu, namandabu. Gani shiku doku Yodo sei sai Dohon bodai shin Ojo Kansho, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namandavs, 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 Namandavs.
Thank you very much. CMA Arturo Rubio will now provide a Dharma School message.
Good morning. Can you see the screen? No? No slide? Does it say, are you sick? Okay, so let's have a show of hands. Raise your hand if you've been sick in the last 6 months. Okay, thank you. What about, let's say, friends and relatives? Have you had any friends and relatives sick in the last 6 months? Okay, thank you very much. So, it's pretty obvious that getting sick is just a fact of life. We all get sick from time to time, right? Sometimes we get food poisoning, we get the flu, a cold, a rash, or any of a number of ailments we may experience throughout our lives. But let's leave our reality for a little bit and talk about superheroes. Do superheroes get sick? Let's see. Superman. The Man of Steel can get sick. Kryptonite weakens him and makes him feel sick. Apparently, in one of his comic book stories, Lex Luthor creates a virus made of kryptonite and infects Superman. Talk about having a bad cold, huh? I don't have all the details, but supposedly Superman figures out a way to rid himself of the virus and foils Lex Luthor's nefarious plans. What about Wolverine? Can he get sick? Apparently he can get sick, but he recovers from injuries and illnesses so quickly that he doesn't really feel the long-term effects of being sick or injured like we do. What about Batman? Well, he is a superhero, but he's still very human, so he's still subject to diseases just like the rest of us. And Spider-Man, can he get sick if you spray him with Raid or some other brand of bug spray? I don't know. I don't think that type of scenario has ever been explored in any of his comic books or movies. But Spider-Man is still human enough to get the flu, according to some of his comic book stories. In this particular screenshot, if you see like the middle section, this is a screenshot from a comic book, from a comic book, and Dr. Octopus is surprised that Spider-Man, who is very sick with the flu, is not fighting back. Spider-Man is so helpless that Dr. Octopus manages to remove Spidey's mask. But hilariously, everyone believes it's Peter Parker just pretending to be Spider-Man. Now let's take these ideas and think about our Buddhist tradition. First of all, Shakyamuni Buddha was not a superhero, but he wasn't an ordinary human being either. He was an awakened being. He also got sick many times throughout his life, just like any other human being. You may remember how the Buddha died when he was 80 years old. He got very sick when he was offered food that was probably spoiled, and eventually he passed away. If superheroes can get sick, and enlightened beings can get sick, what hope do we have? What can we look forward to in this imperfect life we are living? Well, when Siddhartha Gautama was 29 years old, having witnessed for the first time the inevitability of old age, sickness, and death, he decided to leave his palace and find a solution to the universal problem of suffering. But what does it mean to find a solution to the universal problem of suffering? Like a good doctor, wasn't the Buddha supposed to find a permanent cure or a vaccine? After becoming enlightened, the Buddha taught the Four Noble Truths. 1, the truth of suffering. 2, the truth of the cause of suffering. 3, the truth of the end of suffering. And 4, the truth of the path leading to the end of suffering. And what is the path to end suffering? The Eightfold Path. And the Eightfold Path has the following 8 aspects or dimensions. 1, right view. 2, right thought or intention. 3, right speech. 4, right action. 5, right livelihood. 6, right effort. 7, right mindfulness. And 8, right concentration. If the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path are the solution to the problem of suffering, if these teachings are the cure, then why are people still growing old, getting sick, and dying? Well, the Buddha did find a solution to the problem of suffering, but we shouldn't see this from a literal perspective. This may be one of the reasons why the Buddha, after becoming enlightened, spent some time thinking, what do I do with this knowledge? Should I share it? Will people even understand what I'm talking about? In the end, the Buddha decided that this knowledge was too valuable to keep to himself. So he decided to share these teachings with everyone, which is what he did for 45 years until his passing. But the Buddha never intended these teachings to be a way to eradicate old age, sickness, and death in a literal way. His teachings were meant to change our way of seeing things. His teachings were meant to help us acquire the right perspective, the right understanding of how things work. I'm not going to go over every aspect of the Eightfold Path in detail, but let me just focus on right view and right thought for a little bit. When we have the right view, the right thought, or wholesome view and wholesome thought, like Kenji Sensei prefers to say it, we develop a sense of appreciation for our lives, however imperfect they may be. Even if we get sick, we know we will get better. Being sick makes us really appreciate the periods when we are healthy. How do you feel when you're coming out of a cold? You wake up one morning and realize, hey, I was able to sleep the whole night without having a stuffy nose, or without waking up with an uncontrollable cough. How do you feel when you've recovered and can finally go outside and hang out with your friends? It feels great, huh? Shinran also passed on these teachings to us. He taught us that we should be grateful for all that we have already received. that we should be grateful because no matter how hard life can be sometimes, no matter that we're all slowly moving towards old age, sickness, and death, we are all assured of Amida's compassion. We are all assured a spot in the Pure Land. No matter how gray the skies may be, if we have the right perspective, we can see that light is still coming through. And that is the true solution to the problem of suffering. Thank you very much, and please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namandab, Namandab, Namandab.
Thank you for your Dharma School message. Yes, getting sick is a fact of life. And tying it in with the superheroes and also with our teachings in Buddhism was a very helpful perspective. Thank you. Would you, if you're able to, please rise for the recitation of the three treasures. This can be found on page 91 in your service book, and we will recite it together. The three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves our supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord, in your life of harmony, in a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. Please remain standing for the singing of the Gatha, Buddha Loves You, which can be found on page 106. And before we begin, are there any Dharma School students who want to come up and help us sing the song with some of the what do they call them? Motions. If choreography. Okay, we have a willing person. Thank you. Okay, so Jaden and maybe some others will help us sing this song, and I think you will all enjoy it. Okay. My little bird, Buddha loves you, little bird. Tweet, 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 tweet. Run, run, little pup, Buddha loves you, little Thank you very much. Now we would like to recognize our Sangha and Sangha friends who are celebrating birthdays in September. Would you please come forward, and we'd like to recognize you. Is that it? Okay. Please give us your name and your birthday.
Gloria, September 19th.
Jack, September 17th.
Kimberly, September 9th.
Good. Thank you. And we'd love to sing Happy Birthday, Dharma Friends. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Dharma friends. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Please take a little gift. Birthday present. Thank you. Before we have announcements, do we have anyone visiting us for the first time? Okay. Well, welcome back, old Sangha friends. It's good to see you. Do we have any announcements? We do want to mention our Cato Ralph has some.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Nice to see you all. Next Sunday, we'll be observing our Fall Ohigan. We observe Ohigan once in the spring and once in the fall. Next Sunday, the 21st, we will be having the fall observance. So look forward to having it. I'll see you all next Sunday. We will have a guest speaker. His name is Reverend Sterling Davenport from the Vista Buddhist Temple. So please come listen to Reverend Sterling's message and for our Sunday service. And then following the service, we will have our annual luncheon in the annex. So everyone is invited to come for lunch. And the board of directors will be providing the main dish, and you're welcome to bring a side dish, a salad, or dessert. So please do so. And then we will also be recognizing our Kato Kai, our pioneers of the temple, 80 years and older. So they will be recognized during next Sunday's luncheon as well. And thank you to the Junior YB for providing the gifts for the Kato Kai. Also, the Southern District Conference, which we hosted last year, will be on Saturday, October 25th, and it'll be at the San Fernando Buddhist Temple. There's currently sign-ups for the event. If you'd like to attend, there's a sign-up sheet downstairs in the office, so please do so. And we'll be accepting registration up until October 1st. And then there is a registration fee for the event. It's $60, but the temple will cover half of the registration fee for those who attend the event. So please sign up for the conference. Two more announcements. This is on behalf of the BWA. They're still having their Ponko sale for their Southern District BWA fundraiser, and then also they'll be taking orders for their brittle. Their annual brittle sales is now going, so they're accepting orders for that. I believe until around the 1st of October. Okay, thank you.
Good morning. Right after Ohigan with Dharma School, we're going to start our kickoff for our Simbazuru, which is 1,000 origami cranes. And so we are going to ask everybody's help eventually, but we're starting off with Dharma School first. So we'll do a little instruction on how to fold it, and then there'll be an quality inspector going around, which is myself and Patty Nakamura, and because we need to have the heads and tails going the right way. So just an introduction, and we'll start with Dharma School, and then the following month, and then October and November we'll have, for the Sangha, and to be announced the location.
Okay, thank you. At this time, Dharma School students will be dismissed to their classes, and that's before the rest of the service continues. Dharma School students, please oshoko and exit quietly. Thank you. Thank you so much. We will be continuing the service with CMA Arturo Rubio leading us in the chanting for recitation of the Bandhana and Tisarana. It can be found on page 96 in your service book.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Kie Butsu. Namo Kie Ho. Namo Kie So. Kansho, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namandavas, 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 Namandavas.
Thank you. CMA Rubio will now give us a message.
Hello again. Let me just rearrange my stuff here. Okay, so now I would like to talk about a certain incident that happened somewhere in Mexico earlier this month. A man was the victim of a carjacking that happened in broad daylight in the middle of a well-traveled road. The victim, a famous hypnotist by the name of John Milton. John Milton is very, very famous in Mexico, constantly doing sold-out shows all over the country. He will typically start his show with a very serious explanation and demonstration of how hypnosis works, how it can eliminate pain, and how our bodies can perform feats of strength and agility that would be impossible while conscious. Then he moves on to the comical part of it, which is like 90% of the show, where he will have people under hypnosis pretending to be exotic dancers, members of an orchestra, famous singers, that sort of thing. His signature trigger word to have someone immediately fall asleep is duérmase, which means go to sleep. If someone suddenly wakes up on stage all confused after pretending to be a movie star, John Milton will just go duérmase, and then the movie star, quote unquote, will fall asleep again and continue with the show. Anyways, on that ill-fated day, Milton was driving a late model Cadillac when he was intercepted by another vehicle and forced to stop. Several armed individuals got out of the other car, and one of them pointed a gun at Milton's head, demanding that he get out of the car. Milton got out of the car, the assailant got in and drove away, followed by his accomplices in the other car. Milton was just left standing there in the middle of the road. Now, in Mexico, when the internet is abuzz with the news of an experienced hypnotist who was the victim of a carjacking, It's just a matter of time before someone asks, how come he didn't hypnotize the carjackers? Why didn't he just say, duérmase? That's the Mexican way of using humor to try to make sense of negative situations. But seriously, what do you think was going through Milton's mind as he saw his Cadillac speeding away? Was he incredibly upset that he lost his brand new car? Or did it sink in that he had just survived this incident without getting shot in the head? There is a lesson to be learned from this story. Is it our instinct to try to hold on to our possessions at all costs? Or does a situation like this serve as a brutal reminder that there are things in this life that are much more important than even a 2025 Cadillac, like life itself? But let's give those online jokesters the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that Milton does hypnotize the carjackers. He goes, duérmase. Now you're going to be a belly dancer, you're going to play the banjo, and you'll be Taylor Swift. See ya, guys. And Milton drives placidly away, leaving the would-be carjackers in the middle of the road, serving as amusement for anyone who may happen to drive by. What would have Milton learned from that situation? Would he have felt the same sense of gratitude at having survived the carjacking attempt unscathed? Or would this have just fed his ego? Man, I'm awesome. I mentioned during my Dharma school message that Shakyamuni Buddha had even eaten food that was spoiled, gotten sick, and then died. In his last moments, the Buddha said to his monks, I was only able to point your way for you. All individual things pass away. Strive on with diligence. Be a lamp unto yourself. Be a refuge to yourself. Take yourself to no external refuge. Those words, though few and condensed, served as a roadmap for the monks to guide them through their continuing spiritual practice with the Buddha not being present any longer. But what if he had survived the food poisoning? What if instead he had suddenly died in his sleep years later, of old age, without an opportunity to share those last few words with his monks? Would that have changed our understanding of his teachings in any way? What if Jesus had not died at the cross? What if he had gotten off the cross after everyone had left and continued spreading the gospel, lived many more years and died of old age? Would his message have been the same? Would it have had the same effect on future generations? What if Shinran had never been exiled? Would Jodo Shinshu have developed into what it is now if Shinran had stayed in Kyoto and had never preached to peasants in the Kanto region? These examples show us that in most cases we need adversity to really come to appreciate the preciousness of life. Sometimes we need to be given a teaching in a powerful way to really, really understand and appreciate it. Again, we need to remember the metaphor of the lotus flower. It needs to be grounded in mud in order to flourish and blossom into a beautiful flower. We need the mud of adversity and our own missteps to realize true spiritual growth. An example of this was given by Reverend Gibbs last month during his Dharma talk at the Southern District Junior YBL Conference in Pomona. He told a story about a lady he met during a Jodo Shinshu event in Hawaii. The lady had been diagnosed with cancer, and the first thing that she decided to do shortly after was to get a divorce and leave her abusive husband. After so many years spent in a toxic marriage, her cancer had allowed her to see things clearly. She understood that life is too short to be stuck in an abusive marriage. So she got a divorce, leaving financial stability and her medical coverage in the process. She knew well that her cancer would mean costly medical procedures in the future that she would have to pay for somehow. But she still felt that leaving her husband had been the best decision of her life. In fact, she told Reverend Gibbs that she saw her cancer as a gift from Amida. a gift that allowed her to see for the first time what is truly important in life. Reverend Gibbs then said that during a break-in between conferences, people stayed in the room and kept asking him questions about Jodo Shinshu doctrine and philosophy. The lady was the only person who went outside and just stood there admiring the beautiful scenery. At that moment, nothing else mattered. Not her cancer, not the day's events, not even Jodo Shinshu doctrine. She was living in the moment and enjoying every minute of it. The beach, the sun, the cool breeze, those were things to be experienced at that precise moment. Everything else was secondary. Do we all experience that level of clarity when everything is going our way? Do we really appreciate life when we're not being thrown curveballs? In most cases, no. But our human existence is precious because it is precisely in this realm of existence that we can reach enlightenment, according to Buddhist cosmology. If you remember, the highest realm of existence, the realm of the devas, or gods, is a realm full of pleasures, full of all the things that we would find enjoyable. But these pleasures lead to attachment, to a lack of spiritual pursuit, and in the end, zero possibility of reaching enlightenment. Eventually, we may leave that realm of existence, and if we're lucky enough, we may be reborn as human beings. We go through this imperfect life with all its problems and suffering, but in the process, we get a real shot at reaching true spiritual growth and enlightenment. Thank you, and please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namandab, Namandab.
Thank you very much for your message. You're very thoughtful, and the idea of that sometimes we need adversity to realize the true gifts we have in life is very precious. Please rise, if you're able, for the singing of the Gatha Ondoksan, which can be found on page 128 of your service book. Thank you. Namam Dab, Namam Dab, Namam Dab. Those are the words of Shinran Shoni. You may be seated. We'll have a brief closing meditation. The river of life. Though there may be rocks as well as the roots of trees, it burbles and burbles. It just burbles and burbles. River water flows and flows. That's a translation of a Thangka Om by Wariko Kai. Namo Amidabs, Namo Amidabs, Namo Amidabs, Namo Amidabs. This concludes today's service. I want to thank CMA Arturo Rubio for serving as our Dharma leader for today and providing the messages to the Dharma School students and to the rest of us. To Yukari, Noriko, and Katie, who helped with preparing the onaijin flowers, ringing the Kansho, and the obupan and the incense. And thank you to Ann Ong for being our musical accompanist today. And to Ken Muroka for helping us with our live streaming and recording. Thank you all for your attendance today, and you are welcome to offer incense. And please join us downstairs for hospitality and refreshments.